Hello, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, yeah.
I'm going to say good morning, I believe is the time there in
Yes, it is the morning.
yes.
What time's it over
Yes.
there?
It is 7:42 p.m. on Wednesday night.
Oh, okay. Got you.
So in that regards, you're going to have a great day because I'm in the future.
Yes,
There you
and
go.
you're going to go to bed.
Yeah. Congratulations on this film, first of all. I'm a massive horror fan, so I think any new horror film that sort of comes into the orbit, I'm always excited for it. I think something like this that sort of definitely a different kind of character than what we're used to seeing. Are you yourself a horror fan? Because you hear a lot of people take on these roles even though they don't like the genre at all.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I don't watch many horror films.
Yeah.
Um, I did go to see the recent Saw though.
Oh
Um,
right. Oh, okay. So you're
yeah,
like yeah,
yeah.
probably some
I for some reason like was really like I was like I'm gonna see it the minute it comes out. I don't know why. I think I've watched so many clips of Saw and haven't really actually gone and watched a full feat film that I decided
yeah.
that I was going to. And but I don't really feel like I don't really feel like I get too scared.
Right. Is it is it something to do with more like, that's I guess because it's even though this is supernatural and that could kind of happen, someone cutting people up, but it's like that, I guess that disconnect from reality because it's just so over the top,
Yeah.
whereas
Yeah, I mean,
almost this,
I think that kind of thing for me personally is probably the most likely to like I mean it definitely scared me, no doubt.
yeah,
That kind of thing, like you say, where it's possible to be like actually real, that kind of
yeah,
thing is what scares me. Anything that's supernatural, I'm kind of like it doesn't really scare me because I'm
yeah,
probably because I've lived in like because I make a lot of supernatural stuff that I'm like it just
yeah.
I don't really it doesn't and I don't know how much I yeah believe in that. I don't know, but yeah, if it's anything that's too like could be real, then that freaks me out.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because obviously, most known for The Witcher. Have you found that the material you're getting for films is kind of circling the same kind of genre? And are you, even though this is supernatural, it's different from that. Are you kind of making conscious efforts to be like, okay, I don't want to just recreate the same character in different
Yeah.
stories. I want to actually purposely jump to someone that you won't expect me to be.
Yes, that's obviously my aim. Like my aim as a whole is to play. I just want to really stretch myself in every direction.
Mm.
So I definitely don't want to be boxed in, but it is difficult because
Yeah.
obviously they see you do one thing and then they think, oh, she can do that, and then they want to, it's yes, the stuff that's easier for me to get is tends to be in some capacity like similar to those kind of realms, but I still feel like I've managed to play completely different people at the very same time and be in different situations. But I would love to do something at some point which is just completely like stripped back and
Yeah.
doesn't have any kind of like you know magical supernatural or chimpanzees, you know.
Well, I mean, I've seen you in other interviews, and I've seen sort of like behind the scenes stuff. I'm like, put you in a romantic comedy. I think that's um,
Thanks.
you've, you've
I'll
got
do a
definitely,
romantic comedy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I think so. I was like, I can see you as the for everyone just falling head over heels for you. I think
Oh
so.
my God, that's so lovely. I would love to do something as well where I'm not just like constantly bawling my eye, like constantly just like crying in a in the woods or something. Like I just want to. I would
Yeah.
love to do something which is just a bit lighthearted.
And I mean, but then we talk about that, and we're going into Baghead. Where was Albert like was the short horror film something you were aware of at all, or when this script came to you, it was completely brand new territory? And did you watch the short film if you hadn't already seen it, sort of get in the mindset of the film?
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen it prior to being sent the script, but
Yeah,
obviously when I got that, I got a link to the short film as well, and I obviously went and watched that. And so yeah, that's kind of how I got to watch it.
yeah. And when you get sent this script, do you have sort of an initial reaction? Because I mean, as I was watching it, there's without spoiling anything, obviously something happens to your character, and I thought, holy shit, like they've actually done it. But like when you're reading it, are you thinking like this is not where I was expecting it to go, and then you're almost like I'm kind of the almost full circle moment of like your character rising up like a phoenix without sort of giving anything away, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think I suspected it. I like the
Yeah.
I definitely enjoy the twist at the end. I think that I mean I hope that people don't like expect that. I don't,
Mm.
um but yeah, I mean reading it I wasn't really expecting that. So it was fun. Yeah. Um
And if Baghead was presented to you, do you think you would tinker with it? Do you think you would
I
actually want
actually
to
think I
watch
would,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd wanna get my grandparents back because I'd love them to know like everything that I've done, um like since they were so supportive when I started like acting and things, and I would just love to tell them what's happened.
yeah, yeah. I was the same when I was watching it. I was like, I obviously don't want the negative repercussions like
Yeah,
that. Have
don't
that
want that
timeline.
one.
But yeah, I was like, I was looking at it being like, oh, it'd be really nice to like tell my dad heaps of things, being like, he had a gay
Mm.
son, so I hope you were okay with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. It's like it's kind of sad to think about. Yeah, but I mean, as long as you keep it under 2 minutes, you'd be fine.
That's yeah, very very true. Sometimes I look at it and be like, I don't know if I could keep it under 2 minutes because obviously then that's the whole point of the film. You get to talking to this person and you just want to hold on to that so much, but then you think, could I disconnect at
Yeah.
the right time? And would you, I mean, if you couldn't, would you be willing to like live with the consequences, I guess, or not
Yeah,
live, I
exactly. I
guess?
mean, it does. I mean, the thing is, it's not very long, is it? Like once you've opened Pandora's box, you kind of just want to like stay and uh you want to tell them everything. And so I
Mm.
mean, it does make sense why they kind of mess that up so much of the time and like go over the 2 minutes because
Yeah.
I mean, it's not very long to explain like everything that's happened in your life.
Yeah. And with the film being so, I guess, like it's quite contained in its setting, did you find that presented any challenges, or did you kind of enjoy that you were sort of boxed in, so to speak, and that just the possibilities of where that could go?
Yeah, I mean, do you mean in terms of like physically?
In terms of the setting, how it's all basically in that sort of
Yeah,
one.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It did feel like we mainly shot in this kind of old this old house in the middle of nowhere.
Mm.
Then it was mainly there, and then we went to the studio where we did like the basement stuff. So it was pretty much
Right.
those two places. And I think when we were in the house, it was kind of easier, even though like you know when we're shooting it doesn't look nearly as scary as it, they color
Mm.
grade it and everything and they make it darker. So I remember us all being like, okay, we've got like it's a weird thing shooting a horror film because I definitely learned you have to really like kind of make yourself scared, which I know sounds
Yeah.
like really stupid because that's kind of the whole point. Like it's obvious that that's what you have to do, but I mean, I feel like I actually kind of learned a lot about being uh kind of physically putting myself physically in a certain position, i.e. like sometimes you have to like do ton like I would just jog on the spot to like get my breath up, and I kind of learned that throughout the film. I actually would say that it was actually a bit of a learning process as to how to, because at times it just felt it didn't feel very real, and
Mm.
so you kind of had to create that for yourself. And I definitely brought that onto like my next jobs where I was like, actually if you put your body in a physical state then it makes it
Yeah.
so much easier. Anyway, yeah, being in that house was it still felt a little bit more uh, spooky, I guess. And then I think when we were in the basement, we were in a studio. It was a little bit more. It felt a little bit more challenging,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I think that felt a little bit more challenging. But
Yeah.
it was fun being in that house. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, because I have heard that it's almost like if you're on a soap opera or you're in a horror film, it's like they're almost like the best like training grounds because horror it's like you can never be too over the top. You can never be too scared. You can never be too
Yeah,
ridiculous.
and that's what I learned because
Bring
I'm
it
not,
back. Yeah.
I feel like uh I don't naturally jump to the more extreme end of things in general. I'm always a little bit more like, I don't know. That's just what I feel like I've noticed. But
You'd be
that was
going
what I
back.
learned. Like if I was gonna go back and shoot it, I would probably like make certain things like bigger, I think.
Yeah.
But it was good. It's all a learning thing. But yeah,
And
I
as you
would,
said, filming in the house and the basement set, you always hear that scary films seem to weird shit seems to happen. Was this one of those ones where the house was kind of spooking people out a bit, or were you just like, nah, like if you heard a creak, you're like, it's just an old house. That's all it is.
I mean, there's so many people, you're always hearing creaks. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a whole
Yeah.
crew in this, like boxed into this, like, you forget that watching a film, but there's just a whole bunch of people just there all the time. So it's never like eerily silent because there's just like, if anything, it's people shouting like "shut up" to the crew. Like there's never silence on a set except for hopefully when you're filming, if
Yeah.
you're lucky. But yeah, so in that way, no. But I mean, I wouldn't want to. I mean, I kept saying I would not want to stay in this place on my own, like my character does.
Yeah.
It was spooky, and the idea of like being in that place, it actually, you know what, I actually think that the real place that we were in, because the exterior shots were from a different building, and I
Right.
actually think that where the actual most of the inside of the house, where it actually was, and the actual real life exterior of that house was actually spookier because it was really in the middle of nowhere, and
Yeah.
you
Okay.
really felt like if you were out there and anything happened, like no one would be able to save you. Whereas the actual exterior that's in the film kind of looks a little bit more like it's near civilization, whereas that really was just like in the middle of the countryside. It was very spooky, and the thought of being there at night would really terrified me.
Yeah. Well, as I said, like I'm a horror fan, and it's I mean it was really great to see you in this film because obviously I only really know you from The Witcher, so it's great to see the kind of I guess the career choices you're going to make and hearing how you want to progress is exciting because I sort of think we've seen what you can do in these we can see what you can do in the same genre but
Mhm.
completely separate. So I'm very excited to see where you go. As I said, I will champion the Freya Allan romantic comedy all the
Thank
way.
you.
Uh, we'll
Thank
we'll
you.
we'll get something stripped back A24, get you an Oscar. We'll do all that
Oh
sort of
my
stuff.
God, I want to work with A24. You're reading my mind. Like, I want to work with A24 so badly. Can we put that out there?
We'll put that out there.
Thank you for
And
saying
also
that.
just yeah, before I go, obviously we know that working with Liam Hemsworth on The Witcher, have you learnt any Aussie slang just before I go?
Oh, well, I worked in Australia for Planet of the Apes. So I was
Oh,
there
of
for
course,
six
yes.
months. And Aussie slang, I mean, every morning I'd come in and I'd be like, "Good day, mate. How you doing?" Is that good?
Solid, solid. We like it. Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
good. I feel like I've
Awesome.
probably really
Well,
embarrassed myself. I need to stop doing accents in interviews. Like, I need to stop doing that. But yeah, there you go.
no worries. As an Australian, I wasn't offended. I'll take it. It's all good.
Thank God. I
Cool.
love
No, well,
Australians, so all the love to the Australians.
cool. And you know what? And it's like with British, it's like you get our humor seems to level up. Americans have much.
Right? This is what I'm saying. Like we just click in that. Like I got on like a house on fire with everyone out there because we just all had the like most evil sense of humor.
Yeah. Well, on that note, evil sense of humor. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. Thank you so much for taking the time
Thank you
out.
so much. That was a lovely interview.
No worries. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hopefully, see what comes up next week.
Yeah, hopefully we'll meet again. Have a
I'd
great
like to think
day.
so. I'd like to think so.
All right, bye for that